A lot of gay men struggle with guilt and shame. You live your life constantly editing yourself, monitoring how you speak, love, or express joy, because some part of you still fears being too much or not enough. You carry an invisible weight that quietly shapes your choices, your relationships, and even your capacity to receive love, long after the world has stopped condemning you out loud. If that sounds familiar, I want to share 3 hard truths about overcoming guilt and shame as a gay man. They might not be easy to hear, but they are exactly what you need to start breaking free. Truth number 1. Guilt and shame are learned, not inherent. Guilt and shame do not arise from your identity. They arise from the messages you absorbed about your identity. Many gay men grow up in environments where love and acceptance were conditional, where approval depended on being good, normal, or pleasing. When your sense of safety was tied to how well you could hide or conform, shame became a survival strategy. It protected connection, even if it meant betraying your truth. As children, we internalize messages long before we can question them. When you were told, directly or indirectly, that your desires were sinful, abnormal, or disappointing, your nervous system learned to associate authenticity with danger. Over time, that conditioning creates a deep, almost cellular sense that being yourself risks love, belonging, and safety. The truth is simple. There is nothing wrong with you. What is wrong are the distortions that were projected onto you by families, churches, peers, and cultures that could not see you clearly. Shame does not prove you are broken. It proves you care deeply about belonging in a world that demanded your silence. Healing begins when you start unlearning those old messages. When you stop asking, "What is wrong with me?" and start asking, "Who taught me to believe that?" Truth number 2. Healing does not mean erasing shame. It means transforming your relationship to it. A common misconception is that freedom from shame means never feeling it again. Shame is a deeply ingrained emotional response. It is part of how your brain learned to protect you from danger, rejection, or humiliation. Trying to erase it completely often creates frustration or self-judgment. You ask, "Why am I still feeling this after all this time?" The real shift happens when you stop fighting shame and start listening to it. I recommend learning to frame shame as a wounded protector, a part of you that once kept you safe by urging you to hide, stay quiet, or fit in. When you meet it with compassion instead of disgust, it begins to soften. The goal is not to silence that voice. The goal is to reassure it. I am not in danger anymore. I do not need to hide to be loved. Overcoming shame is not a straight line. You might feel empowered one day and triggered the next. That does not mean you are failing. It means your nervous system is learning new ways to relate to safety and authenticity. Each time you respond to shame with curiosity rather than punishment, you rewire something fundamental in yourself. Over time, shame becomes less of a dictator and more of a signal that points to the places where more love and understanding are needed. Truth number 3. Pride is not arrogance. Pride is recovery. Many gay men hesitate to embrace pride because they were taught that confidence equals vanity or that celebrating yourself is too much. Pride, in its truest form, is not boastfulness. It is the act of reclaiming your dignity after years of having it stripped away. It is a sacred kind of healing. Pride says, "I exist exactly as I am," and that is enough. It is the moment you stop apologizing for taking up space. It is the quiet courage to show affection in public, to love openly, to tell your story without minimizing it. It is not about proving your worth to others. It is about remembering your worth to yourself. For many gay men, especially those raised in environments steeped in religious guilt or cultural judgment, pride is not just self-affirmation. It is recovery from chronic invalidation. It is the antidote to years of invisibility. Living with pride is how you integrate all the parts of yourself that were once splintered off to survive. It is not defiance. It is restoration. And here is the beautiful part. When you embody pride, you give others permission to do the same. Your healing becomes contagious. You become living evidence that it is possible to be fully human, imperfect, radiant, and free. So, will you keep carrying a weight that was never yours, or will you set it down and live that freedom out loud? The choice is yours. Thanks for watching. If these conversations speak to you, hit subscribe. I post new videos every week about what we go through as gay men, from love and identity to healing and everything in between. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one.